Actually, it's 5:30. Everyone, please rise to the pledge and remain standing for the land acknowledgement statement. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
Salamanca City School District acknowledges the homeland of the Nandawaka, the people of the Great Hill, the Seneca people on whose ancestral and modern day land Salamanca School District now stands and whose water we enjoy. We stand with all Indigenous peoples in their resolve to remain connected to their land. While we cannot undo what has been done, it is the goal of the Salamanca City Central School District to recognize the history and make improvements that will benefit the next 7 generations of Indigenous students.
You'll get everyone. Okay, do we have any changes to the agenda?
Yes, since it was published on Friday, we added section 4, which is a executive session, and section 6, item M, which is the wood floor repair and refinishing bid.
But I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Carrie, second by Dale. Are there any questions?
Yeah, where's Tricia?
Good question. Tricia is currently in Atlanta at a training for Diligent, which is the company that has taken over Vortex, to get trained so that she can help us with the transition over the next, it's going to be about 6 to 10 weeks as we shift from Vortex to Diligent. So
we're taking minutes.
that's it. With their pointer for Madam Clerk. We also have one additional board agenda change, which is going to be item 1A. Dot 1.
I think we can add that. Now we gotta revise the.
Okay. So let's.
We just had a motion,
Oh, just need a motion.
but we didn't actually take a vote.
So we're going to go to the question and then we can add it.
So that we 2A1.
Perfect. I would like to recommend that we appoint Nicole Beaver as the clerk pro tem for this evening's meeting.
Okay. So we need a motion to appoint Nikki as pro tem.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Carrie, second by Dale. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Now let's go to approve the agenda.
Revise.
Revised agenda.
I still make the motion.
The motion, Dale still seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. All right, item, yes, very good. Recognitions and presentations, we have our final budget overview.
Nice stuff.
Final.
The final.
Will be final, even though New York State is not final.
Yeah.
Have they ever?
No. So while we're waiting for Levi, so for real, New York State has not finalized their budget. They passed their 5th, what's it called today? Extender. That's due, expires tomorrow. So I'm assuming they'll probably pass another one tomorrow because I don't believe that they're anywhere close to having a budget. So what that affects is state aid for us. That's why there's a green star on there, and I've put on there pending final state aid amounts because it could change. It could go up, it could go down. Right now, we're looking at an 8% increase in state aid. So if it stays there, it stays there. If it changes, if it goes up, then our impact aid number will go down. If the state aid number goes down, the impact aid number will go up. So we'll still remain at 63,821,716 if that's the budget you approved tonight. And again, tax levy for the 9th year in a row will be at $250,000. It's not really a whole lot more I can say about that. This is the first part of the property tax report card. I always want to say payroll tax. I don't know why, but It's not. So the top of it shows, the budgets from this year compared to last year. It also shows the, exclusions from this year to last year. Essentially, the parts that I feel are important on this part, the upper part, is the increase of 5.82% on the budget overall, and enrollment changed by 0.49%. The bottom section shows where we were at the end of 26 for our restricted fund balances, appropriated fund balances, and unrestricted fund balances, and then an estimated where we'll be on June 30th of 27. And it looks like my estimates right now are that we'll be going from an 18.4% fund balance to a 29.82% fund balance, which is just a little over the 4% required. So, I mean, that's just based on what we have. I mean, we're spending what we have. And, you know, we're getting in a little bit more than we're spending, but at the same time, we don't want to just spend money just because we have it. If anybody does that, that's not the way you should do things. That's not the way that I recommend that we do things here, that we plan on what we're doing. We make sure that we've planned it all the way through, how much is it going to cost us in the future, et cetera. So that's the top half of the property tax report card. And the second half shows our different reserves. Capital is at 0 because we use that with our phase 5 project that's in process right now. The repair reserve will go from 811,000 to 819 is what I'm projecting for interest earnings between now and June 30th. Workers' comp will go from 277 to 353, which is two parts. One, it increases based on 2% of the change in fund balance from last year to, or from the prior year to last year, and then also taking out 25% of our premium costs for workers' comp. Unemployment will go from 226 to 322, which is the same thing, except instead of covering 25% of the unemployment costs, it'll cover all of it. The employee benefit accrued liability fund will go from 1.2 million to 1.27 million. And will cover the actual costs of unused time of those people that are retiring. And just for your memory refresher, those are spread out over 3 years. So if I retire this year, for the next 3 years, I get paid out my unused time. So anybody that retired 2 years ago will get their last final payment this year. So that spreads it out and helps us out budget wise for that every year. Retirement contribution will go from 540 down to 523 for 50% of the annual expense, because those retirement reserves are getting a little bit, or percentages are getting higher. So we're paying more, especially in ERS. The other reserve is for TRS, which will go from 1.2 to 1.6, but we're not using that at this point in time. We're letting that fund balance build a little bit, and then we'll start using it. So we'll end up at 1.6 at the end of the year. It's my estimate. So what do we don't know? What do we don't know? That was really great English. Sorry. What don't we know? STA contract settlement still, CSU contract settlement as well. The New York State budget, so we don't know what our state aid number is. And then any federal government grant funding changes. No one knows what the current federal administration is going to do. They could delete something tomorrow. They could add it back the next day. It could be decreased. It could be gone. It could be increased. You don't really know until it's on paper and in our hands. So that's kind of up in the air. And there's really nobody that knows the answer to that question at this point in time. So there is a possibility that we'll see some decreases in federal aid, but we may see increases as well. Next up is something. There. Okay, this is the requirement by New York State. You have to look at things be broken down between admin, program, and capital. So from 25 to 20, or from 25 26 to 26 27, admin goes from 5.9 to 6.2, or a 3.9% increase. Program costs go from 47.6 to 51 million, or a 7.06 increase. And capital goes from 6.6 million down to 6.5 million. And that is because of the reduction in our debt service payments for 27. So overall, it's a 5.82% increase, $3.5 million. And this is how I like to look at it, because this makes more sense to me. And as a taxpayer, this is the type of information that really helps me more than admin program and capital, because unless you actually really study the budget, you don't know what's in those things. So, but everybody knows what these are. So your salaries are going from 27.4 to 28.6 for a 4% increase. Benefits go from 12.6 to 13.5 for a 7% increase. And that's primarily from health insurance increases, which went up 8% this year. We're lucky that it's only a single digit percent increase versus some double percent increases, which I've seen in the outside world and not in our consortium. BOCES goes up $1 million or 11%. Equipment and vehicles up $200,000 essentially, or 10%. Contractual up about 13%. Materials and supplies up 9%, and debt and interfunds down 21%. And again, that's that debt service payment that's lower this year. So we have two propositions on the ballot this year in addition to the election. The first one is to approve the budget. The second one is an e-bus proposition, and I'm just going to read it. Is that resolved that the Board of Education of the Salamanca City Central School District, New York, the district is hereby authorized to purchase an electric school bus, related equipment, and apparatus for use in the transportation program of the district at an estimated maximum cost of $475,000, and to expend therefore an aggregate sum not to exceed $475,000, and be it further resolved that the sum of $475,000, which may include certain upfront costs, with such maximum cost anticipated to be offset by an EPA grant of $256,250, shall be funded by currently available funds of the district. So that means that our $63.7 million budget is really, if this is approved, will be increased by the $475,000. The $475 is not included in the $63 million number. If this gets approved, we can proceed to purchase an electric bus and hopefully be reimbursed up to $256,250 by the EPA. Part of the regulations of getting that reimbursement is the bus has to be completely destroyed. We can't put it up for auction to sell it. We can't give it to somebody to use for anything else. It has to go to a registered demolition facility, has to be destroyed, and they have to certify that. We send that into EPA, and then we can get our money. If we don't do that, if we just said, yeah, we're not going to use it, and we sold it to somebody or something like that, we would not get those funds back. So that's a big chunk. So that's part of it, you know, and the other part is the cost of the charger, which is built into the 475. So that's the second proposition.
So Karen, if we wanted to purchase additional buses in the future, would EPA reimburse us the 256 for each bus, or is that like a
Gonna
one-time?
depend on how much money they have left, because they did put it out one point in time and then they stopped it and they put it out again. So I don't think they got the participation they initially thought they would. So it's back out again. So it could go away at any time
So this is just for one bus.
for one bus. Yep.
And if we're not even eligible for EPA grant until the bus is destroyed, how many years out is that?
Well, we could destroy it, you know, the day after we get the new one.
It's just any bus?
It's any bus?
It has to be a bus that was in, Roger, help me out here if I screw something up. It has to be in use in the last 2 years and have to have 2,500 miles a year on it.
We only have one.
So we have one,
Criteria.
yeah.
Has to have an engine date code of 2017. And I have one left.
Okay.
Oh, so it's the destruction of
A bus.
a diesel. an
A
existing
diesel bus,
diesel.
yes. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought you meant it was destruction of the electric bus.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that's what?
Sorry.
8 years down the road?
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, it's the diesel bus.
So EPA, that's a federal grant?
Yep.
Why isn't there, or do we know why there isn't any New York State grants? Because this is a New York State unfunded mandate.
Yep.
You don't know?
It is an unfunded mandate. And every district in New York State is in this position. Everybody is fighting it to push it back. Because we are supposed to, starting in 27, which is next year, the only buses we can buy are electric. Actually, the only vehicles we can buy are electric. Then our entire fleet has to be converted to electric by 2035. So that means we have 40 buses.
48 DOT vehicles.
We have 48 DOT vehicles that need to be replaced by 2035. And 40 of them approximately are $475,000 a piece.
That's only DOT vehicles, not,
Correct, there's not
Non-
having, pickup trucks that can run around for maintenance.
Yeah.
right.
How much more is that than a normal bus?
Double.
So have we had any discussions with the city DPU
We have,
and what's gonna happen to everyone's PPA?
yeah,
Oh, God.
don't know.
That'll change.
Yeah, because we're gonna be,
Yeah.
we'll be up at Donver site
Okay.
by
That
then,
goes to National
which
Grid.
goes to National Grid, which means our electric cost goes up. Because National Grid is more expensive than BPU.
Okay, so it's not in the city, doesn't
Correct.
affect city residents, and it won't affect PPA.
That PPA part, I don't know. That I don't know.
Time for a windmill.
Because I don't know if that, because we
That's what I just
we don't
learned.
have any National Grid accounts right now. So I don't know if they have a PPA thing on there or not. I know that the city buys their, that's what the PPA is. They're buying the energy from, I believe it's from National Grid. I could be wrong on that. So I don't know if National Grid has or not. And then I lost my train of thought.
You're gonna talk about what the ideas is.
I'm not allowed to say that.
Oh, I'm gonna talk about that? Is anybody gonna talk about that?
Well, it depends on, it's pretty much kind of like anything. It depends on who you talk to. There are school districts that are like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Then there are other school districts that say, this is the worst thing since COVID. So I honestly, I don't think we'll know until we get into it. And maybe it will be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but who knows? It could
So,
also be worse than COVID. I don't know.
sorry to derail this a little bit. but
Oh, no,
what's-
that's fine.
What's the hours or mileage you can get on a charge?
Their projection is 110 miles depending on conditions. So when you get into the winter months, that number drops somewhere closer to 70.
Yeah,
They also don't give you specifics on charging cycles. They give you a 8-year warranty on the battery. That also depends on charge cycles. Nobody has answered me yet as what a charge cycle is. If it's each time I plug it in, or if it's only from the 20% back to 80 to 100% charge. No one's answered that question yet.
How quick do they charge?
Depending on what charger you buy. You can buy a standard charger, which is an 8-hour thing, or you can buy a rapid charger, which also depletes the battery as you're charging.
so. Let me ask this.
Basically, something that you did for
We know we can't get everywhere we need.
Can I go to the Girls and Rods?
Yep.
So
Yep.
next year,
In Wilson.
we go to a game, I'm gonna use Niagara Wheatfield. Friday, Niagara Wheatfield is coming here to play us. Next year, we're going to Niagara Wheatfield. Will that bus get us to Niagara Wheatfield and back?
No,
No.
you're gonna have to drive it roughly halfway, 3/4 of the way, park it in another district, plug it in and charge it. The day before, we'll have to take another bus up, leave it there so it's charging. In order for us to get there, transition to another bus, go on to the game. When you come back, hopefully the one you drove up, is going to charge to each home.
So now 2 drivers have to go to the game.
No, you'd have one driver still. Because the day before, the mechanics and someone, maybe a driver, would shuttle a bus to a location in order to make the whole thing work. The state says keep a diesel bus in order to make those transitions easier. But yet by 2035, we're not gonna have,
This is crazy.
What's the availability right now, of electric buses out there? Is there
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of them out there, or is it?
What's scheduled?
Their lead time is long. I mean, we even ordered a diesel bus in July and has it here yet?
They're being inspected as soon as you see them showing up.
So, and that's for diesel buses. The electrics are a lot longer lead time. So we could order it, July 1 and not see it until August of the following year.
27.
And one bus company, called Lion Bus Company already went out of business. And the people that bought those buses are SOL because the new company that purchased them is not honoring warranties.
Interesting.
Wow.
So there's so many pros and cons and, I'm gonna say this as a district resident. I was appalled when I saw Governor Hochul in Buffalo and somebody asked her about why wasn't her fleet of vehicles electric? She said, well, it's too expensive to replace them,
Did you expect us
but we're supposed to replace them. So I almost threw my Mountain Dew at the TV when I saw that. I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? But, it's just, I don't know.
The DOT inspector shows up in Prius, and it's a hybrid, but it has a sticker on the side of the car that says electric vehicle.
But it's hybrid.
It'll only go 30 miles on a charge and then goes back over to gas cap. But that's their advertisement piece, as if they are electric.
So what's our longest, aside from sport, what's our longest actual daily pickup route?
We have a run that probably covers 100 miles a day, easy. So the electric bus is not gonna work.
That's not gonna work. Where does that run go?
Picks up everything in town here, goes to Olean back, and then back to Olean back, and pick everything, or drop everybody off.
Yeah.
They're in the 100-mile range, and then we have some van runs that go to Father Baker School in Lackawanna. So that's not gonna work in electric vehicle.
So in the wintertime, it gets even less, right?
Right.
What about like our steamer run?
That would be pushing it. The vehicle is set up so that as it starts depleting the battery, it'll start turning things off to give it enough power.
Yeah, kids, I'm sorry, you don't get
it.
any.
News indicating that the driver's shutting the heat off in some of these other districts. It's the vehicle shutting off what it doesn't consider needed. And we can keep it moving.
So on the days that it's -5 out and we got a bus out there at 6 AM, it's gonna shut the heat off.
It may, depending on how fast it runs.
Wow.
That is just jolly.
This is ridiculous.
And
But we use the same bus for multiple runs during the course of the day, don't we?
Some of them do, we have some that goes around in town and then they go to BOCES back and then do around in town again at the end of the day.
But in this scenario, that won't work.
That's not gonna work either.
So we'll need more buses.
so we're gonna have to increase our fleet size. Get an entirely new one by 2030, right? 2035. And if it's cold out, which it never is here, it's gonna slowly turn off auxiliary functions like heat.
Right.
Just had you.
As well as while it's plugged in charging, it's doing one of two things. It's heating the batteries so they don't freeze, or it's cooling the batteries so they don't get hot and start. Depending on the temperature outside.
So let's use that steamer example again. What's the downtime between the run? So how much time does the bus have to charge?
He leaves in the morning around 6:15 and is back punching out about 7:45. And then he'd be getting in that bus around 10 to 2, come back up for the afternoon.
So just about 6 hours.
About 6 hours.
Yeah.
And on a fast charge, they were right around 3.5.
Then the other thing too is that, once you have multiple chargers, you're gonna wanna get the charging management system where if they can charge overnight, they're charging overnight because it's cheaper than it is during the day. Remember when we first got cell phones and it was expensive to call during the day, but if you called in the evening, it was cheaper?
Yeah.
Kids are like, what?
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, so Yeah, there's a huge learning curve on this for everyone. And like I said, I mean, if you talk to Lakeshore, it's great. You talk to Naples and it's like, oh my God, what are we doing? It's costing Naples, I think it was $3.18 to operate the bus per mile, and it was like 22 cents for the diesel bus.
$3.18 per.
I think that's what April said.
Gasoline is cheaper, which will rate it.
Okay, so this is actually gonna be up to public vote then, on the budget vote.
Yes.
Okay.
However, it's a legal mandate.
So even if it gets voted down, it's
So
still.
if it gets voted down, that's what every business official across New York State is saying, that, well, if it gets voted down, I don't have the authorization to do it, yet I'm legally obligated to do it. So which one is it? Nobody knows at this point. Board decision. It's only that easy, Dan.
Yeah. Then throw it back on us, Dale.
This is not.
So any other questions I can't answer or might be able to answer?
Sorry to sidetrack us.
Oh, no, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. No, okay, so we'll move on. Capital outlay. So we included $100,000 in the budget to do two things that we can get state aid back on. One is an HVAC upgrade to the IT closet here at 50 Iroquois Drive. And also replace one, if not two, heat recovery units on the east wing of the high school. Those items are eligible for aid in using the capital outlay process versus adding them to a capital project. And that's all I have.
All right, any questions for Karen?
Yeah, let's go back to how much money is owed to us by New York State. I know you brought that up.
Yeah, I was.
There's no slide in here about that one.
No, there is not. There is not. We are still waiting for our Native American tuition and Native American transportation contracts. And every time we ask, we're just told they're being reviewed and it's on top priority and we still don't have them. So we have not been paid for several years. And it's around, I think it's 12 or $13 million that they're owed right now, that we're owed right now.
That's just to get us current?
Yeah.
Or is that including this?
Just to get us current, just to get us through 6/30 of 25.
You're around 6:30, 26 is right around the corner.
It is, it is. I know.
So,
Definitely. I mean, Mark has contacted Senator Borrello to, ask for his help and, we got the same story from them as we did from the department that it's being looked at. I don't know who's looking at it because we don't ever get that answer. Unfortunately, I don't have any update. Anything else? I can brighten your day with? I tried.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll move on to our presentation for our warrior values.
So this is a project that Mr. Finn and Mrs. Hubbard have been working on for probably about 8 months now, I would say. October. And what they recognized is from the hiring process, there is an important starting point to establishing what the culture and the values are within the district, and that it permeates many facets of what we do. So they have been working together. They really comes from the HR department, but they've been collaborating with many of the different departments. And today they're going to present sort of the final part of the project. So fire away.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening. My name is Mike Stidd, and this is my colleague Josie Hubbard. We both work in the Human Resources Department. And today we're going to talk about warrior values. And warrior values, we're really talking about, how you, Anna? Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Levi. I thought Marcy was doing what we're really talking about is alignment. Alignment of our Board of Education goals, which are make students smarter, build a culture of trust, and improve attendance, with our shared warrior values of learning excellence, respectful relationships, effective communication, and continuous improvement. We have clear district goals, but without consistent systems, how we operate can vary across the organization, across our 3 buildings, across our support buildings, and across our various departments to our organization. This work is about creating that consistency by embedding warrior values into how we hire, support, evaluate, and make decisions as a collective organization. In short, this is about moving from values as a concept to values as a system. Our focus as a district. We want to continue to stay grounded in our core priorities of student achievement, attendance, and building a culture of trust. And the question we're working on is, how do we achieve these consistently across the entire organization? And the answer is not another initiative, it's alignment of goals and values. So what's the challenge? As we continue to grow as a district, like many organizations, we've identified some inconsistencies and areas for improvement. And some of those areas are practices can vary across buildings and departments within our district. And school culture is often defined informally rather than systematically. And key processes like hiring and evaluation aren't always aligned with our shared warrior values and Board of Education goals. And the impact of these challenges, our staff and students sometimes have different experiences depending on which building they are, which department they're working with. Sometimes expectations are not clear, and then we miss opportunities to strengthen our school culture intentionally. So the solution is a system, not just a slogan. And our approach is to build this system with a value-based framework that 1, aligns decisions, 2, creates consistency, and 3, embeds culture into our daily work activities. And this work is centered around a full employee life cycle approach from advertising and hiring all the way through our careers into retirement. And so we'd like to keep Dr. Mueller interested, so we got to use a TikTok to illustrate what we're trying to say. And if we could play the TikTok now, please. Ideally with volume.
You're a TikTok guy?
Always.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Nice. You can act it out if you want.
I would love to do an interpretive dance now if we have to a moment. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's middle. Can we go back again? Sorry about this. I should have tested this before we started. My mistake.
That's the presentation. That's it.
Wait till you see the interpretive dance, brother.
Number 3, align your goals and your values. This is how we contribute to our success more than anything else that I've lived this year. And this comes from a good study done in past reality. In past reality, we can observe that every human being has a hierarchy of values. The things that we value most of our life does the things that we potentially don't value at all. And these values will dictate how we define our resources. Our primary resources that every one of us has at our disposal every day is time, energy, and money. However we invest our time, energy, and money will ultimately become our destiny. And when our values don't align with our goals, we experience symptoms like procrastination, hesitation, frustration, self-sabotage, overwhelm, imposter syndrome. It's why some people say one thing but end up doing another. So these things are designed to help us become aware of alignment. So all there's 2 options. Either shift our goals to match our values or shift our values to match our goals. I do. So values finally align, success will always happen.
All right. So now I'd like to give the floor to Josie Hubbard to further detail our shared warrior values.
Okay, so when we're talking about the values, it's not just a slogan, it's more of a foundation of a system. When we say warrior values, we're not just gonna post it on the wall, it's actually something we're gonna share through expectations and how we operate as an organization, how we treat each other, and the standards that we really operate from. Earlier, Mr. Finn talked about consistency. And this is how we begin to address that consistency is through these values. So each of the values, the first one is learning excellence, where we're all working together to create experiences and environments that facilitate learning. The second one is everyone understanding that we're in this together and we're going to work together. The third one is our continuous improvement, where we're working to be better tomorrow than we are today. And effective communication is key in that everybody's getting the information to who it needs to go to. We're not gatekeeping anything. And what's important about these values is that they are observable. While we can speak them, we can also see when they're in action, but we can also see when they're not in action. It gives us a really nice starting point to start difficult conversations on these values. It's really moving the philosophy, what we're doing, the philosophy of this, we're putting it into practice next. So we're going to embed all of this into all of the functions of HR, as well as other departments, starting with the recruitment and hiring. This is where really you're going to see it become operational. And our postings for next year, you'll start seeing warrior values right from them. When we're onboarding, interviewing, we're going to be talking about these and what our expectations are. And that'll lead into the evaluation of how we're evaluating new staff, current staff, and what our expectations are really. Next one. And this is where we approach the life cycle of an employee. And currently, we're starting out to recruit. We know some people are in the middle. So we are going to, every stage is going to be intentional with these values in mind. It's going to align our decisions, and the school culture is going to be reinforced through each part of the cycle. So what it changes, it's really changing how the whole impact that the HR department and other departments are having with greater consistency. We have clear expectation for all employees. There's an alignment between our goals, and actions that we're doing every day, and just really more sustainable, purposeful culture ahead. And for that, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Okay, why does this matter now? The strategic importance of embedding our warrior values into our daily activities in any of our postings, any of our advertisement, and really our way of interacting with one another is it aligns daily practice with our district goals. It strengthens trust across the organization, and it supports long-term student success and creates a sustainable, values-driven culture. Ultimately, ensures how we operate matches, our operations match what we say we value. And when we're going to measure success, how are we going to measure the impact of this daily practice of our warrior values? Staff retention trends, hiring outcomes and candidate quality, consistency in our evaluation process, and staff feedback and school culture. And our goal is to always incorporate our warrior values into our everyday activities at the school. And in closing, this isn't just a statement, it's a system for how we operate, make decisions, and support one another. And I'd like to open it up for any questions we have from our board or our audience, please.
I like hearing it just from my perspective, because a lot of times I feel like we're always saying, well, we want our students to do this, we want our students to do that. And we always have to remember that our students are looking up to us. So if they see us missing time or late to a class or whatever, what example are we setting, right? And so I think that's important that we're trying to instill the same values across the staff. And it doesn't matter whether it's a cleaner, a teacher, or an admin, or a board member sitting here. All of us should have those same values if we're expecting our students to do it, then we should be held accountable to do it too. That's, so I like that.
And it's meant to be a systematic approach to do exactly that.
That's my 2 cents, guys.
So yeah, sorry, turn around, I've heard from that. This is supposed to be a framework for how you guys in HR figure out if staff are like good fits during the hiring and recruitment process, correct? Okay. I just wanted to put that simply for myself, so I can understand what you guys are talking about. My apologies for.
No, no, If you have the question, that means other people. So let me repeat it because I think that's an important question. He was asking, how do we use the warrior values in our hiring process? And so we're going to be hiring a vice principal for our high school in the very near future. Our questions have our warrior values embedded into them. So when we're interviewing candidate A versus candidate B, we're going to evaluate their answers by looking through the lens of our warrior values. Does this candidate display learning excellence, respectful communication, effective communication, respectful relationships, and continuous improvement? Because that's what we value here. When we're going to bring an outsider into our school district, onto our team, we want them to have those shared values. And if they don't have them at the inception of our relationship, that they know that that's what we value and that's what we want to develop.
Thank you.
I had a question on the life cycle approach. So it all seems pretty straightforward until you get to recognize and exit. The recruit, the select, the onboard, the develop, and the evaluate. That's pretty, I feel like it's straightforward. What are you guys talking about when you're saying recognize and then the exit?
So what I would say by the recognize and exit is once we have a staff on our team and there might be a time to discipline them or promote them or offer them an additional stipend position, say maybe a co-curricular after school activity. When we're evaluating those candidates, we're really recognizing whether they need development or that they are displaying the warrior values that would make a great math Olympics. We had that when I was in high school. I don't know if we have it here. Or the soccer coach or the drama club. That when we're evaluating who's the best fit for that, we're looking through the lens of the warrior values. Who displays these 4 warrior values to further the drama club or the soccer team or the math team? And then the exit, sometimes someone isn't the right fit for our district because they're not displaying the warrior values. And there are times where we might ask someone to leave, to terminate their employment. So that's what we mean by recognize and exit. Or retire. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that sometimes happens too.
Ask it
Thank you. That clears up. That completes the circle for me.
All right, thank you for the question.
Any
All
other
right, thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you for your presentation.
Next, we need a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of personnel. Second by Dale. 2 seconds. Second by Brad. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. We shouldn't be that long, so hang tight.
We're gonna head in the lobby.
If any of you guys do anything wrong, where? Hey, somebody open the door, I really took Mueller out.
That was good.
Yeah, they told me to open the door. He's like, okay.
Okay.
So I either have to do that way faster or way slower.
Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Exactly, yeah.
And just a small thing, we've only lost 3 people in the time you've been gone.
That's good.
That happened. We need a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion. Second.
By Carrie, second by Ted. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Okay, we need a motion to amend the agenda. We need to remove 8F. And then we need to add 10A and 10B. And make the current 10 11. Everybody got that? And the current 11 12. And we have no 13 or no.
Did you get all that?
Yeah, we don't ever have this much excitement.
Kind of exciting here, guys.
Like, I don't get.
I know, Nikki's like, great, I'm the night that I'm. Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Carrie,
Second.
second by Dale, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. All right, next we have our public communications. Did anybody come in to want to talk? Nope. Okay, I don't see Title 6. Students didn't want to talk? Students want to talk?
No.
Okay. We'll start with Owen. Do you have a message for us that you'd like to share tonight, sir?
No message, just the ever-present ramblings that I do. Thank you all for letting me be here and the opportunity that is given to me and the rest of the students for being here and being able to see the actions of the board. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, then we'll move on to central office message. Karen, do you have anything else you want to add?
I do. Teresa has in front of her a grant award that we received. The Go Green Initiative grant from National School Board Association that Mark and Sandy Brundage went out and accepted on behalf of the district in San Antonio. And also, Levi, if you can hook me up. Sandy wrote a grant to the Ralph Wilson Foundation and we received, the award. It was $30,000. And, so what we received is fitness equipment for Vets Park, outdoor stuff. So if you're over there walking, etc., go ahead, Levi. You can, jump on these new pieces of equipment. And what we're working on, Sandy's working on getting some signage done so you know what to do on each one of them, because some of them kind of look like a Hannibal Lecter thing or something. I mean, this one does. So Levi went over and took some pictures and stuff, and he's got a little video coming up of them. And so everything's installed, it's usable right now. But Sandy's working on getting some signage over there that tells you how to use them. We're going to get well, hopefully anyway, we're going to get a little QR code so you can scan that and then learn how to use the piece of equipment and then jump on it and do your thing. So finally got it. We got the grant last fall, right? And then that stuff was installed about 2 weeks ago. So it's ready to roll. They can take Rich, you can have them take the tape down on them and people can use them now if they want to. So.
Yep.
Right, yeah. And the auditorium, electrical bid is opening up on 4/29, and we're still waiting for approval on phase 5.1. Awesome. That's all I have. All right. Did I miss anything on that, Sandy? I took your tape down today. Oh, Sandy already talked. Awesome. Well, congratulations on all the awards. You guys are doing a great job and keep it up. Keep getting us more grant money. We love that. All right. How about you?
Yeah, I have a few things. So I just wanted to remind everybody about New York State testing. So our 8th grade students tested today and tomorrow. The 28th and 30th, we have math in grades 3 through 7. The 5th through the 7th of May, we have 3 through 7 ELA. And then we have our 5/8 students take the science test on May 12th. So that's just a housekeeping item. I also wanted to touch base about summer school. The dates for summer school this year will be July 13th to August 13th. We'll run a Monday through Thursday like we have in the past. Students will arrive at 8:30 and be offered in-house breakfast. And then lunch will be also in-house at 11:30. Classes run from 9 to 11:30. Right now, our principals are identifying the students that will be coming to summer school, and letters should be going home this week if they haven't gone already. We'll be running high school summer school in-house this year. The only students going to the BOSU program will be our 7th and 8th graders. Everybody else will be in-house. Been working with Mr. Bartosik on athletic camps again this year. They'll run again in the AM from 9 to 11 for grades 2 through 6 and focus on a different sport each week. And we've kind of been touching base on how we can reach our high school students in the afternoons, what that looks like for athletics. Our STEAM camps will also run same dates, July 13th through August 13th, but they will have a longer day. They go from 9 to 2:30, but they're also offered our lunch. So that's our summer programming. More information will be on social media and things and progress with that. And last but not least, the one thing I'm the most excited about is starting on May 4th, we are going to be reading one district, one book. So every staff member in the district received the same copy of a book, but it's a secret. I'm not going to say the name of the book. The students don't know. And then all students,
I know.
Hi. All students in grades pre-K to 12 will also receive the same copy of the book. And we will all be reading it together from May 4th to June 4th. We've kind of identified a reading schedule where students will read small pieces in school with their teachers, but then also have some reading that they'll do at home with their families. We've identified some ways to upload it on our social media and our website so that if they forget their book at school, they'll still be able to access the at-home reading. And I just wanted to be really transparent that this really isn't about doing a novel study or checking comprehension of the book. It's really just about common language amongst the district, a shared experience. We have a lot of families that have students in multiple grade levels, so it'll be really cool for them to be able to be reading the same book as, you know, a first grade student and an 8th grade student. And so it's really just about celebrating literacy and the love of reading and everybody sharing a common, you know, theme. And then our plans for our culminating celebration will be a family engagement night over at Betts Park, where we will show the movie that goes along with the book and hopefully get our food truck involved and just really celebrate that we had a month-long love of literacy. So really excited about that. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
She reminded me of it, speaking of summer. So John and his crew, he's like, what is she gonna say? Will be running the summer lunch program for breakfast and lunch, but one of the things that they will be doing this year, instead of just at the high school and at Prospect, is going out to different locations in the community, kind of like we did for COVID, and they deliver stuff. So we're gonna be setting up, and Sandy and John help me out. We're doing Hope's gas station in Killbuck. We're doing the ACC and
Youth Center and Highland Playground.
Youth Center and Highland Playground. So those 4 locations, the food truck will rotate around throughout the week. They won't be there every single day, right? Yeah.
One spot per day.
So
Nice.
they'll be there once a week, and kids can pick up their lunches there and go from there. Yes, sir.
I have questions about that. Will the food be made in the food truck or will it be a prepackaged thing?
It'll be made here in the district and then just taken out and delivered.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right.
She's involved in some.
Then we'll move on to our board message. Christine, you want to start us off?
Yeah, thank you very much. Not much tonight. I just wanted to thank everybody for being here and to our presenters. I really enjoyed the presentations tonight and the thought and effort that went behind it, and Karen for your budgetary update as well. I know you do a lot of hard work, so I really appreciate it. And yeah, just I'm excited. It's a special day for me and my family. My daughter turned 1 today, our future warrior. So you know, excited to be here, but I'm very much looking forward to going home and celebrating with her and my family too. So thank you very much, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Casey?
Welcome all to all the students and stuff. The school year is dwindling down. It's April. Only a few months left. So just concentrate. If you need help, ask your teachers.
start enjoying the warmer weather and always be safe.
Don't remind me.
All right, thank you. Ted?
No, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Same thing, it's the final push already. It's hard to believe that here in a couple of weeks, we're gonna have a budget vote and all that, and shortly after graduation. I'd say warmer weather, but it did snow the other day. I know Carrie was happy, but
We thought
I
it was
was
bad.
not. Warmer weather, so.
It was irrelevant.
Yeah. But the last thing is that I just want to let everybody know that, I had to, go to the spring fling down at Prospect last week. All the kindergartners and first graders, when I was there, to let all the teachers and them know that it was a very good idea and they all had a ton of fun. So it was, interesting to see a dance that all the kids truly wanted to be there and they had a lot of fun. So that was neat to see. Parents had a riot too. So, it was just nice to see a good turnout for that event and, everybody happy. So, yeah.
All right, Brad?
I want to say congrats on the Go Green Initiative Award, and then I also want to wish best of luck to the seniors as the year winds down and they're deciding on the next steps in that life's journey.
Diddle. Go Sabres.
Yeah.
We have 25 minutes. For
24.
that 24?
Those are coming down.
Thank you.
All right, Gary?
Yeah, Sabres first time in playoffs in how many years now? 14. All right, lightning round.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody. Thank you to our staff. Thank you to my colleagues, everybody here for doing what you do to help the improvement of our education of our youth here. Thank you to students for showing up. Sometimes it's not the most exciting thing to be here, but you get to see a little bit of the public policy making that we do up here and it is what it is. Thanks for being here. I'll keep it short and sweet because I know T-Ray has a face off in 23 minutes. now,
23 minutes. Puck drop.
Yeah.
All right, I'd also like to say welcome to all the students. Good to see you here. I'll just say what I always say in brief. And that is if you need something, let us know. And that goes for not just students, but staff. We're here to help. We like to think that we think outside the box and we want to make this the best school that we can. If you see something that you don't like, let us know. Because we want to make sure it's a place that you want to be. There is 22 minutes for puck drop, so I'm going to keep it short, but thank you everybody for coming. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mark.
Yep.
Who I'm sure
I'll just be very quick, don't worry.
Very quick.
I wanted to just bring up two events that happened in the past couple weeks. One was the Seneca Nation Salamanca School District basketball tournament, or well, it wasn't tournament, basketball game. The district did get defeated soundly, but we had a great time, and actually it spawned, I think, what may turn into some of us getting together on a somewhat regular basis to play more frequently, so that we can come back and have a better performance. Our own Counselor Ryler scored multiple points on me, and I'm not going to say it had anything to do with the fact that he's my boss here, but I got to at least try and save some face, because he just bounced all over me. So, well done, sir. But honestly, it was a great time. It was good to see everybody in a different environment, and I think for our group, we're looking forward to getting back and doing whatever. So,
That was a
thank you.
blast. That was a lot of fun, and yeah, kudos to everybody, and maybe next year I'll have to play for the district. I think the school or the nation got me first, or recruited, or however you want to word it, but I was walking in and I was like, oh man, I'm probably gonna get heckled a little bit here.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as I got the ball, everyone in the crowd saying stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh. But it was so much fun, and I agree. Afterwards, it seemed like that, I wanted to kind of keep going because it was so much fun. So yeah, I look
It was a
forward
good
to
time.
it. So that was a good job.
And then last week I had an opportunity to participate in a Kiwanis event called the Pillars of the Community, where representatives from various organizations, Seneca Nation, the city, there's some folks there from the county as well as the school district, really got together to see how we can work together and collaborate for the betterment of children in Salamanca. And, you know, reflecting on that, that was really to me kind of a special night because people took time out of their evening to get together, spend several hours and work through a well-organized and structured program of, you know, what are organizations doing, what do they have planned, and what do they need? And you just don't find that in very many communities. So thank you to the Kiwanis for that, and thank you to everybody who came to that. I'm looking forward to doing that again.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to our consent agenda. We're gonna need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Brad,
Second.
second by Tracy. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item 8A is a donation from the Seneca Nation for $750, and that is a one-time donation to the Cindy Moore Scholarship Fund. So we need a motion to approve that donation.
Motion.
Motion by Dale,
Second.
second by Tad. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next, we have a donation from Phil and Eddie Jimerson for the amount of $200. Again, it is for the 2027 Cindy Moore 5K Supplies and Scholarship Fund. We need a motion to approve that donation.
Motion.
Motion by Carrie, who seconded that? Christian, second by Christian. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item C is a donation from NAFPO Quick Stop, and that is for $1,000. And again, it is for the 2027 Cindy Moore 5K Supplies and Scholarship Fund. We need a motion to approve that donation.
Motion.
Motion by Tracy.
Second.
Second by Dale. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item D is a donation from Fuller's Financial. That is from $100, and that is for, again, for the 2027 Cindy Moore 5K run. So we need a motion to approve that donation.
Motion.
Motion by Carrie, second by Ted. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next, we have a donation from the Seneca Nation for $490. That is for the 2027 senior trip. We need a motion to approve that donation.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Dale, second by Brad. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item 8F is removed. Item 8G is the SBA memorandum of agreement, and that is for summer 2026 academic programs. So we need a motion to approve SBA MOA, SBA 2021-2026-019. Motion by Dale.
Second.
Who seconded that? Tad, second by Tad. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item 8H, STA memorandum of agreement, and that is LOA STA 2021-2026-20, and that is for summer work days. We need a motion to approve that MOA.
Second.
Motion by Brad, second by Christian. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item I is our cooperative natural gas supply bid, WFL 2027-19. Not gonna read it because my truck is in 16 minutes. But we do need a motion to approve that resolution. Motion by Dale,
Second.
second by Tracy. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Item J is our school property tax report card and our tax levy for 26-27. So we need a motion to approve the report card and tax levy.
Motion.
Motion by Tad,
Second.
second by Carrie. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item K is our 2026-2027 budget adoption. So we need a motion to approve that budget. Motion by Dale.
Second.
Second by Brad. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item L is RFP 2026-013 Armed Security Services Bid Award for Patriot Protection and Investigations. And that is for April 10, 2026. We don't have a total amount on that, but
Let's see, how many guards is it?
it's just something, it's from May 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. Let's make a motion, then we can ask the question. Motion by Carrie,
Second.
second by Christian. Are there any questions? You want to know how many guards that is? Christian?
Yeah, I just, yeah.
You know?
Really, so 20 hours a day.
Okay.
Employees guard prospect and then kind of half night for the evening.
Okay.
So it's a replacement for the service that we currently have. The current vendor that we were working with, which were amazing people, he has decided to take advantage of some private opportunities he has, as well as teach motorcycle lessons, right? Yeah, which is probably more fun than standing outside in the snow with a firearm. So we put an RFP out for replacement, but the hours will be the same. We've been very happy with that service, so it'll make it
Good.
Any other questions?
Yeah, what are they, and I see in their letter here, they talk about planning on reusing the existing security guards.
correct.
So how does that work?
Well, really, that's up they have reached out to some of the folks that worked with the previous company that we had here. And they will just onboard them as a different vendor working with us, but we should see some of the same faces, which is good for us. We've been very happy with them.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, we have a motion by Carrie, second by Christian. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Item M, we have 2026-14 wood floor repairing and refinishing bid award to artistic wood floors. So we need a motion to approve that contract for $28,350 from May 1st, 2026 to June 30th of 2027. Motion by Dale. Second by Brad. Are there any questions?
Yeah, what floors are we resurfacing?
Prospect gym, when the HVAC system leaked in the winter. Same one we did 2 years ago.
And that's it?
Yep.
Okay.
It's repairing, because some of the wood has to come up and be replaced.
Mhm.
And then, that, fixed, then the floor refinished and repainted.
So why do we have a year-long contract for it?
Because it's only, they're gonna actually start after school's out. So we just put it through June 30th of 27, but it'll be done
Or the summer?
over the summer.
Okay.
Any other questions? We have a motion by Dale, second by Brad. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item 9 is our personnel consent agenda. And item 9B, we need approval for 9A. Motion by Dale,
Second.
second by Tad. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Item C, do we have any staff we want to introduce?
We do.
I'll go first. I have Mrs. Peterson. She's online, and I'll get to that. She's a counselor in our guidance department, our staff, our student support center. And I'll try and keep it short. She's a huge advocate for students. She puts the time in to know their interests and help guide them to careers or colleges, pathways post-graduation, and the pathway leading up to graduation. She's often here after hours supporting our students. And the reason she's online tonight is she was playing mom supporting her daughter at an after-school function. But very welcome to her to continue to be part of the Warrior family. Just a great part of our department, and glad to be able to give her her time.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate this moment. And sorry I'm not there in person.
And then we saw Mr.
I
Frazier.
had another one. I'm not sure if he popped up. He was going to try and get him up and see you, Mr. Frazier. He's been in the science department now for approximately 4 years, and just a great addition. A staff member who steps up when needed and often tries to get ahead of things. To no one's fault, there was a vacancy as a department head, and he jumped right on it, and he's done a great job and continues to just take the lead in the new standards that are rolling out. He took the lead last year to start rolling them out so he can be aware of them and start getting kids familiar with them. And a great continued addition to the Warrior family. Also proud to be able to give them things.
He did stop by earlier and told us all thank you. So that was great.
And he's busy coaching.
Yeah, he's a busy coach and we love it.
Mrs. Route?
Amber on, I don't know if she's here anymore. But I'm excited for Amber Wolf. She is our, being recommended for tenure as our elementary, teacher. She teaches kindergarten at Hospital. She's been there for 4 years, focusing on a building of, love of learning, a growth mindset for our students, and creating a strong educational foundation. She's described as enthusiastic, patient, caring, and deeply committed to helping our children have a positive and memorable kindergarten experience. Her dedication to building children's confidence, independence, and collaboration skills makes her a highly valued member of our school community. So congratulations, Caitlin.
For this? No? All right, we will make sure that we welcome the rest of those and congratulate those who received tenure when we see them.
Next, we have item 10A, to be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education amended the agenda to include the resignation of a particular individual to be approved. We need a motion. Motion by Dale,
Second.
second by Tad. Are there any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item 10B is a settlement agreement. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves the settlement agreement between the Salamanca City Central School District, the Salamanca Teachers Association, and an employee previously discussed in the executive session, and authorizes the superintendent to execute that agreement. I need a motion. Motion by, was that Bradford? Need a second?
Second.
Second by Dale. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Item 11 is now our board information and reports. We have our enrollment, our CABOC's annual budget, 2026-27 brochure, our capital projects, phase 4 and 5 summary report, transportation report, and our upcoming event. May 12th is our budget public hearing and Board of Education meeting to be held right here. May 19th is our budget vote. So please, everybody come on out. And then May 26th, we have another Board of Education meeting. So 3 weeks in a row, guys.
Yeah.
And I know that's exciting. And number 11, it is now number 12. We need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Kristen, second by Tracy, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Go Sabres, thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you all.
With that.
Just another lawyer.
Right.